Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Bad news. If you own a smartphone, Donald Trump, your president, and his masked secret agents are spying on you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Man, I've been on that, man. They've been doing that. Family, you're partially right. But you have no idea how deep this rabbit hole goes. ICE has acquired powerful new surveillance tools that allow the agency to access and track phone location data, and in some cases, potentially hack phones without a traditional warrant, raising significant civil liberties concerns among privacy advocates. Instead of obtaining location data directly from phone carriers, which typically requires a warrant, ICE purchases access to vast amounts of aggregated, commercially available location data from data brokers. An internal ICE legal analysis suggests that this method allows them to circumvent the need for a warrant because the data is considered publicly or commercially available. These are some of the key aspects of the technology, which includes commercial location data. ICE uses tools like WebLock and Tangles from a company called PinLink to access location information from hundreds of millions of phones. These tools can monitor a specific location or neighborhood, track movements over time, and build detailed day-to-day life profiles of individuals. Spyware. ICE has also revived a contract with Paragon Solutions, an Israeli company that makes spyware named Graphite. This tool is capable of remotely hacking into phones, accessing encrypted messages, photos, and real-time location data without the user's knowledge and without them having to click on any link. A zero-click exploit. Physical phone access. When agents have physical phone access, they use tools from companies like Cellebrite and Magnet Forensics to unlock the device and download all data, including messages, call records, and location history. Data integration. All the collected data is reportedly integrated into a system called Immigration OS, developed by Palantir, which links various databases, IRS, immigration records, private data, to create comprehensive profiles that are easy to search. Privacy advocates, including ACLU and the Electronic Privacy Information Center, argue these methods violate Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable searches and seizures, as the Supreme Court has previously ruled that the location data generally requires a warrant. Concerns have also been raised that these tools could be used against U.S. citizens involved in protest and advocacy work, not just non-citizens. Family, this is absolutely insane and an egregious violation of privacy and fundamental principles of American liberty and freedom. Yeah, man, we gotta stop this. We gotta break this up. Who ready to ride? Who ready to ride? Family, look, in all seriousness, somebody better be ready to ride, because this country ain't what it claims to be on paper. Well, you know what? This country really never been what it claimed to be on paper, at least not for us anyway. That's why black people get offended when they say make America great again, because certain people it's been great for, especially those who have no empathy for others. You know, it was absolutely great, because, you know, really, I couldn't be on the other side of that coin, right? And see what's happening to human beings and consider my country, the country I live in, to be great. I would have never, I don't care how many so-called advantages I'm supposed to have, but when I see the abuse, it's one thing to just be prejudiced, fam, and just say, you know what, we're not going to go out of our way to help these people. They're going to have to figure it out on their own. It's a whole other thing when you purposely oppress and you purposely try to, not try, but harm people and you do things to destroy people. And you have other uncivilized mutts who claim to be good Christians who will pack picnic baskets and go out and watch a human being be lynched as if they were just casually watching a movie. Absolutely insane. But ICE is going too far. It's almost like they're hiring thugs off the street. Yeah, well, I guess they are. Yeah, a lot of ICE agents are just a bunch of dudes who wasn't able to get employment because they killed too many people or something. They did all kinds of wild things while they were employed in different law enforcements and stuff. And a lot of these dudes are dudes who couldn't find work because they were just mentally unstable. And ICE is hiring everybody, like anybody who's ever dreamed of being a cop and being able to push people around, bully people. You know, you can become an ICE agent. That, from what I understand, the bar is really, really low. So the ICE agents are now like the thugs in the police department 2.0. Yeah. And they've been giving a mandate. They've been given a mandate to be particularly rough. You know, they've been given a mandate to violate citizens. Like, we don't care that you're an American citizen. I say, let me see your ID. We don't care if you're an American citizen. This is ICE, y'all. Walking up to people that they can eyeball until that they're not an immigrant, but they're asking for ID just because they can. And they're putting people in the back of the cars, in the back of the trucks, just because they can. It's out of control. Republicans, y'all did this. Yeah, man, you know, I don't rock with the Democrats or the Republicans, but, you know, y'all did this. This on y'all. Yeah, y'all did this. This is on y'all. But here's the thing, fam. As I said before, every single major atrocity that has ever happened in this country happened on the Democrats' watch or the Republicans' watch. If it happened while the Democrats were in power, the Republicans let it happen. If it happened while the Republicans were in power, the Democrats let it happen. They are responsible for keeping the other party in check. Democrats are responsible for keeping the Republicans in check, and the Republicans are responsible for keeping the Democrats in check. That way, we don't go too far left, we don't go too far right, and no one person ever comes into the power and has more say-so than the masses. And you know, this is what we are. When you got this one dude who wants to be a dictator so damn badly. I mean, it hurts him. I mean, it really hurts him that people are not literally bowing down to him and kissing his ring. He wants that so badly. That's why he wanted a parade. Now, a logical person may think, well, what the hell is Congress doing about this? What's the Supreme Court doing about this? See, silence is complicit. That means if you see something going down, if you see harm being committed to someone or something, and you say nothing, that means you are in agreement with it. If you say nothing, you do nothing, you're in agreement. Silence is complicit. So Congress can't fool me. They can't fool me with the silence. They're not even speaking out. They're falling back, being quiet like the cowards they are. Remember, fam, Congress was responsible for slavery. They allowed it. They voted it in. They legalized slavery. Remember now? You know, we get caught up in the whole fact that Abraham Lincoln so-called ended slavery out of the goodness of his heart. But he didn't. He ended slavery to save the Union. That's why he ended slavery. Had nothing to do with black people loving black people or having some type of empathetic energy for black people. None of that. No. It was nothing. It had nothing. It wasn't even remotely about that. Abraham Lincoln was an uncivilized mutt, just like the uncivilized mutts before him and after him. You know what's interesting, fam? They always seem to have money to use against us, but they can't find any money to use to help us. You know, like, where's that money for healthcare? Like, all of this money, they just magically come up with money when they need it. But when it's something that can benefit the people, money is always a hindrance. It's always a hindrance, you know, like it's always a problem, right? Just can't get enough of it. We just can't afford it. They seem to have no end to the supply of money they need to go to war or to use against us. But when it's money needed to protect the people, to aid the people of America, they just can't come up with it. And now they can come up with it to give to citizens of other countries. They were even talking about giving Greenland citizens anywhere between $10,000 to $100,000 each to accept the U.S.'s invasion or forthcoming invasion. Did you hear what I said, fam? They're going to give each citizen of Greenland $10,000 to $100,000. That's what they're negotiating right now. What if they didn't invade Greenland and they just gave each citizen of the United States $10,000 to $100,000? Wouldn't that be nice? It could take 100 years to turn this thing around, maybe 200. Y'all be careful out there, fam. They're listening and they're watching. Guess it's back to the flip phone for me. No more talk.